Alright, here's a demonstration of the IP updater script that I've been working on now that I've added the emailer script to it. So here it is running, and there it is, pops up in my inbox, and there it is. Now obviously it's in plain text mode, which is no good, but I haven't added my encryption algorithm to it yet. So anyway, here's the old bash script that I've been working with, and I've removed a lot of the echo statements, but the really only thing I've added here is this line down here that runs the new emailer, and with it is passed the new IP value, which is obviously retrieved from the first real line of this code, which assigns a new IP variable to that right there. And then so here's the Python code. This is the emailer, by the way. This is what is invoked now. First thing we're checking is to make sure we have one argument being supplied to the command. Pretty simple. And then we're assigning the new IP variable to the first argument. And now the next couple lines of code, I spent a better part of an hour busting my head against this. It looks messy as hell with all these commas in there, but I was having a really hard time getting the subject and the body of the email to be separated, and it took all this right here. It's a real pain in the butt, but the big thing was I had to have two new line feeds inserted, and I had to have these commas in there when I split it into a list, and it's real messy, but it works. And then really kind of the whole point of these, what is this, 5-6 lines of code, is the fact that I'm appending the new IP, which is the argument that was passed to it. I'm appending it to the end of this message and then turning it back into a string. And now here we are, a real simple regular expression here. It just looks for any 3-digit number beginning with a 2, because that's the HTTP status code we're looking for. Anything that 200 series is usually successful. And here's the socket being built, the SMTP server, the URL at port 587, assign it to a socket, and then the LO function returns a bunch of text that I assigned to a list, because the only thing I'm interested in is the status code, which I compare to the regex. So if that first digit in the regex is a 2, then it's good to go, and then it just continues from there. And then the next step will be to start the transport layer security. A lot of the same steps actually. And again, check with the regex, because again I'm looking for that status code that begins with a 2. Assuming that's good, and then it gets ready to log into the IP address, which this is it's all blurred out because this is the email address I'm using, but you have to put the plain text password in there, but I might have a workaround for that. I don't like really storing plain text passwords and public IP addresses, but we'll get there one step at a time. But yeah, making sure the login was successful. Assuming it is, then I can send out the mail to that email address from the same email address, and then I can log in and see the new public IP address.